All right, looks live. Looks live. I see the ticker going.
Yes, we are live. Sorry, I'm putting the live here on IG. Okay, let's go. Hi, everybody. Welcome to our weekly live session here where we're talking all things fourth annual Autism in Black virtual conference. We are so excited to answer your frequently asked questions about our annual conference. So I'm Maria Davis Pierre. I am the CEO and founder of Autism in Black Inc. I myself am autistic, late diagnosed autistic. We have two autistic children. We have three altogether, but two of them are autistic, and two of them also have ADHD as well, as do I. So that's a little bit about me for those of you who don't know me. And I'm going to introduce my husband, Mr. or rather Dr. Barry Pierre. Go ahead and introduce yourself to the people.
Hey, good afternoon, everyone. You're truly Dr. Barry Pierre. I like to call myself like the Chief Technical Officer, right? If that's that's a phrase, right? Chief Technical Officer here at Autism in Black. I am just Barry Pierre. When we talk about Autism in Black, we leave the doctor stuff when I'm doing like my doctor stuff outside of here. I am just a willing and able participant in the growth and the spearheading of love when it comes to Autism in Black. I am just here to spread the love and press some buttons in the background.
And make sure everything's working, right?
Indeed.
We have a lot of viewers on IG. How are all my IG people doing? I see Cheryl's on here. Hi, Cheryl. Cheryl is our opening speaker on Saturday, and she is going to be talking about advocating while Black. So that's going to be an amazing session as always. So let's go ahead and get into some of these FAQs about the conference here. Where should we start?
I think I think especially with these weekly lives, I want to do just kind of a recap of what's been down since the first week. If there's any issues, any changes, or any surprises that we want to kind of let them know, and then we'll kind of hit some of the FAQs because we always get them in. I think it's always good to answer them, right? And we'll probably answer them again next week, right? Because fortunately, a lot of you guys are seeing the ad, whether it's on Facebook, whether it's on Instagram, even some of your Google searches are starting to pull us up as well too. So, which we appreciate, and you guys are asking some great questions that we want to make sure we answer. So, like starting, I guess I'll start from just our standpoint, technical wise. So we started promoting in the last week or so. And it's really kind of gotten to the audience who knew us and the audience who didn't know us, right? So, and I think this is why every year we get the same question, is because we are always trying to promote. And like, I would love to say every single person come back from last year. They do, but we always want to expand and, build the audience for newer people and newer families who we know need the services. So that's why we get the same question. I know, especially for those who've been at the conference, these past 3 years, they're like, "Why they're still answering these questions?" And it's not the same people, because it is different people. But it's interesting that even though we're talking to different people, the same questions keep happening. But that's why they're called frequently asked questions.
So let's get into it. I think the first one is where will the conference be? And the conference is virtual. We use a platform called Whova. It is a very engaging platform. We've been using it since year 2, so this is our 3rd year that we'll be using it, and it is very engaging. A lot of our attendees even Whova, the organization, the company, was shocked at how engaging the attendees are at the Autism in Black conference. But we're able to have virtual exhibitors. We're able to have virtual sponsors. Our attendees are able to set up their own pop-ups and meetups within the app. There's a lot of networking, meeting people in your area, meeting people with like interests, similarities. We know a lot of our attendees have met up outside of our virtual conference and have formed lifelong bonds with other attendees. And that is one of the great things that that we love about our conference, and that we push about our conference, because we know it's so much more than that weekend. We are trying to cultivate that community for our attendees. So the conference is virtual for 2024. We know you guys are really asking for an in-person conference, and we're working on the logistics and the background for that for future events. But for April 19th through the 21st, it is completely virtual, hosted on the Whova platform. And yes, if you are not able to attend all of these sessions or any of the sessions, you still will get lifetime access to all of the conference recordings as well. So even if you can't attend April 19th through the 21st, you can go ahead and secure your ticket, because you get lifetime access to the conference recordings.
And I think especially kind of going off of the virtual aspect of it, because again, a lot of it is the fact that like people want to have that community, people want to be able to kind of fellowship together. So we like, trust me, we hear you, like, yeah, because y'all been asking for it for a couple of years. So we definitely hear the calls for wanting to be in a physical safe space. Just right now we're still rocking virtual, but God willing, we will definitely have a physical location in the future.
Exactly. We have a question from Bonnie here. Bonnie is asking, are there any discount codes? So as of right now, we are in the early bird phase of marketing. So right now, the ticket prices are discounted. So what you're seeing now is our early bird rates. Also with early bird, one of the advantages that you're getting is also you're going to get access to last year's conference, and we're thinking of some other things that we can give to early birds as well. So go ahead and snag those tickets while they're at this price, because it is our discounted price as of right now.
Now we do offer group discounts. So any organizations, any churches who want to be able to attend the conference as a group, as a session. If you have your administrators who would definitely benefit from a conference like this, please email us. Is it info? Is it info?
It's admin@autismandblack.org, and that's for groups of 10 or more. You can go ahead and email us at admin@autismandblack.org and get the group discount as well. Also, if you feel like that this conference is for somebody that personally, and you want to sponsor a ticket, we have that option as well. If it's not for you per se, but it's for somebody in your network, or of a family that you want to sponsor a ticket for, that option is on our website as well. Or if you just want to help some of the families that are on our list get a ticket, you can sponsor a ticket and we can take somebody off the list and they can go ahead and go to the conference as well.
And for those maybe asking, like, what is this list? So if you've gone to the registration page, because we were trying to figure out last year, how can we have a seamless process and just have like a database list of people who we know are interested in the conference, but for whatever reason necessarily didn't pull the trigger. So it's actually a two-step process. You go to the page, you put your email address in there, and then the second page is when you put your financial information in. So we have a lot of people who did the first part and got to the second page, and whether it's they got busy, sidetracked, whatever, didn't complete the registration. So like we're keeping like a mini waiting list of people who we know who are at least interested in the conference, but just didn't go out and say, hey, you know what, I'm ready to go ahead and pull the trigger. And from that list will be the people who, let's just choose a random email in here and send them a personal, you'll get a video message from me say, hey, I saw that you didn't finish your registration, but guess what? You have been chosen to get a complimentary guest pass on me, right? So that is how you can get on the list for those maybe asking about a list.
Perfect. What are some other questions CEUs. CEUs is a big question that we have. And we have applied for CEUs for therapists, social workers, marriage and family therapists. And we're just waiting to hear back from them. You know, there is a process with that. So hopefully, and I will be following up with them, we'll hear back soon regarding the status of our application. So we are actively working on the back end to get CEUs for the conference as well.
Definitely. And I think for, because we had a couple of questions as far as agenda, I say we will definitely, and you know, we'll have to follow up with Maria because we just need her to do a couple of things to have the agenda put out so you guys can kind of see the flow of the schedule for the conference as well too. And that will also be on the Autism in Black, the official page, autismblack.org. We will have that on there as far as an agenda is concerned.
Yes, thank you to my husband who is putting a fire under me right now. That's why he's saying it on this live. I will get that done today. Yes. But our schedule is VIPs. You guys start with me on Thursday the 18th, and we go from 12 to 7. Friday starts the official kickoff of the conference, and we go from 12 to 6. And then Saturday and Sunday, we go from 8:30 to 6 as well. There are breaks in between each session, and we do have a lunch break Saturday and Sunday as well. But the full agenda will be on the website this weekend with session titles as well, because I know some people are waiting for that as well.
Yeah, and I should hopefully, if we're able to, I should be also able to put it on the registration page as well too, that first registration, just like you can see all the speakers. I should be able to put, the registration agenda scheduling calendar schedule on there as well too. So there'll likely be 2 spots that you can get it, either on the official website, autismblack.org. Make sure you check that out, or it'll be on the actual registration page.
Perfect. And what else are some frequently asked questions that we get about our lovely conference? Like I said, you guys get lifetime access to all of the recordings. We actually host them on our own platform, all of the recordings, and then like a week or so after the conference, you get your link so that you can go log in and watch them at your leisure.
I think especially this is more foundational because we tend to get a lot of questions on the why, like why the conference, like why we're doing this conference. More importantly, why is it Black, right? Like why is autism actually in Black? And that's more of like a foundational question for just autism Black in general. It don't really have to do nothing with our conference in particular, but those comments always find their way on the ads. People love to remind us.
You want to get into that? I wasn't going to get into that. Dr. Barry is getting over a cold. I've had it. He's had it. Our children have had it. So I didn't know if he was going to bring this up today, but since he started, let's go ahead and talk about that. You know, every year when we do our lives, we talk about a lot of the racist comments that we get, or we talk about a lot of the comments that we get on why we're dividing the community. And it's not that we're dividing the community. The community has been divided. What we're doing is actually highlighting the needs of our community. We're making a conference for us. We have an organization that is for us, about us. So of course, we're going to have a conference that is for us, about us. I say this every year, but there's many autism conferences out there, autism workshops out there that do not highlight the needs of the Black community. Our needs are completely different. The way that we navigate society is completely different. And that is because of race. That is because of the systemic barriers that are in place that hold a lot of resources back from us. So to navigate those things, we do have to have conferences that specifically talk about the needs of our community. I am a Black autistic woman. I'm going to talk about the needs of Black autistic individuals. I'm going to be blackety black every time that I get on any platform and talk about the needs of the autistic community, because that is what I live every day, and I'm not apologetic for it. So that's what we do. It's and it's just baffling to me that we get these comments every year about, oh, why does race have to be a part of it? Race has to be a part of it because of the statistics. Race has to be a part of it because organizations are not coming into our communities and having these conversations. That's why there is a lot of lag time in the Black community, because the conversations are not being had on a grand scale of a lot of these organizations. Autism is in Black is small, but we are mighty. So we are trying to bridge that gap for our community, and we're going to continue to be a resource to our community. Thank you, Bonnie, for saying we aren't dividing the community. One size does not fit all, because it doesn't. Thank you to everybody on Instagram who is commenting. You guys are seeing me look over here. I'm looking at my other monitor to make sure I'm keeping up with everybody. How are you guys doing over there on Instagram? But yeah, we're not going to apologize for meeting the needs of our community. That's not something you'll ever see me on this platform apologizing for. You're going to hear me saying I'm Black, Black, Blackity Black, and we're going to continue to have a conference that focuses on those needs. That's not saying that white people can't come to our conference. That's not saying that this conference is only for Black people. What I am saying is that the information centers only on the needs of the Black autistic community, and that if you are an advocate, a healthcare professional, and you are not Black, but you work with our community, this is a conference you need to be at, because you need to learn how to do less harm to our community. This is where you should be at to get the information. So we're not saying that you can't come. We're saying that this is focused on us. This is a Black, Black, Blackity Black informational conference about the needs of the Black autistic community. Anything you want to add?
No, I love it. And I think what typically happens is when they typically see our ads, they're like, oh wow, okay, well, Black person doing this. So they're kind of happy at first, and then when they realize like, oh, there's a conference and there's a registration fee and all this other stuff here, especially for our newcomers, first timers, never saw us. You may not realize that we have podcasts. We have webinars, workshops. Like, we have so many other things that typically lead up to the conference, but typically your first experience with us is an ad that says, hey, come to our conference. Mm-hmm. So I always encourage those people that say, like, yes, we can have a conference that only focuses on us. That's not a bad thing. It's never been a bad thing, especially because the other like, we just left a conference like a couple months ago, right? I forget who did it, right? But they don't have to center us, right? So when we make the conscious decision to center us, we are not apologetic about it. Mm-hmm. And you should never be, right? Like, why should you be apologetic if you want to focus on Black issues? Like, this doesn't make any sense. But I always encourage people, especially for those who this is your first time catching us, especially if you're like, why is autism in Black? Like, please go to the website. Mm-hmm. Check out the videos, check out the podcast, check out the workbooks, the blogs. There's so many other things there that, even, like I say, I always encourage people, even if we don't catch you on this year's conference, we're going to catch you the next one, right? But at least you'll have a full year of podcasts and workshops and webinars and everything else, right? That doesn't cost any money, right? So that you can trust us to say, like, oh, I already know that they're going to put an amazing conference on, right? And we got something planned for the end of this year. Yeah. So like I said, we got some things happening. And if this is your first time introducing us, we appreciate y'all. We love y'all. The conference, get them while the early bird rates are there.
Yes, we have a comment from Instagram. Black Power couple, love y'all. Thank you. Great to see you guys speaking up and speaking out on the experience of being Black and autistic. Thank you. They said they just found out a year ago that they're autistic and have ADHD. Listen, I am going into year three of my own diagnosis of autism. I've known I was ADHD since my first year in college, but my autism diagnosis I just received about 3 years ago. So I can understand that. And that's another reason why we have to have this conference and this platform, is because a lot of us are late diagnosed adults when we're looking at individuals who are in their 30s and up. Because, you know, again, those gaps were there when I just turned 40 this year. So those gaps were very much so present when I was an adolescent, when I was younger, you know, and people were not checking for Black autistic individuals. You know, those diagnoses in our community were not, and they're still not happening. I'm a clinician. You know, do diagnosis. I do evaluations. Their evaluations still have biases in them. There's still that gap when it comes to evaluating Black children currently in 2024. So back when I was young, of course, they were even worse. So that's the need for this conference. It's the need to talk to healthcare professionals and say things like, hey, you got to realize that my Black culture comes in the room with me when I'm coming in there to get an evaluation. And it's not, my culture is not something that should be marked against me when doing evaluations, right? It's for Black parents to get the information of advocating in a different way for their children, because we do have to advocate in a different way for our children. You guys have heard my story if you're not new here, and you know I had to sit in a pediatric neurologist office for a week to have him give us the paperwork for our oldest. You know, we have to advocate in a different way for our children, because we know that navigating being Black in society is much different for us. We know that walk. We know that that trajectory of school to prison pipeline is so much more easier for our children because of these systemic barriers. So that is why we sit on this platform and discuss the needs of the Black community, discuss the needs of the Black autistic community, discuss the needs of the Black disability community, because we still have so much work to do. So we're going to highlight it so that we can continue to bridge those gaps. And we want you guys to come to the conference and learn from all of our amazing speakers that are speaking on topics from birth to adulthood, and talking about the many different things that we've experienced personally and professionally. I've talked about how our conference is one of the only, if not the only, Black neurodivergent led conference. So if you want to hear the professional and the personal side, this is the conference that you need to be at. Let's see, we got some more comments coming in here. Latoya says, ADHD mom with 11-year-old autistic son. He was diagnosed at 3. When looking into ADHD for him, you ended up self-diagnosing. Yes, just started treatment 2 years ago, but I think I just found the right provider for me. And it's hard. It's hard to find a culturally responsive provider that understands our needs as a Black individual and that intersectionality piece of disability. It's hard to find somebody who understands both of those things, which is another reason why we sit at our platform and talk about these things, talk about how to find a culturally responsive, intersectional healthcare provider. They're out there. Few of them, you know, we're trying to make it better. That's why healthcare professionals need to come to the conference. But it is difficult for us, right? We have heard year after year of the conference of our speakers talking about their own stories of the challenges of getting diagnosis, or horror stories of, you know, interactions with their own healthcare professionals. So we want to shed light on this, and we're trying to bridge that gap and make it easier for those who are attending our conference. So yeah, anything else you gotta say, hun?
I wasn't sure if this week we're gonna start letting sponsors be known, or you want to hold that.
You want to announce her, because Dr. Barry had a great commercial idea to announce our sponsor. So I don't know if he wants me to.
Let's do it. We'll hold to we'll hold to the video, and then we're gonna get a good friend of ours, Stephen Francis, to do the video. And we'll put it on IG and Facebook and YouTube and the like.
I will say, guys, one of these sponsors I am just elated about. It is just someone I am so in awe with the work that they do and things of that. So I am just so excited to tell you guys about this one particular sponsor. And when I do, I know you guys are going to be just as excited as I am. So
especially because this is our first year having a sponsor, right? And I don't think, like you said, this is only our 4th year, which, when you look at other conferences across the country, they've been doing it decades. And unfortunately, they've been doing it for decades, but not for us for decades, right? So
yes.
we're here on our 4th go around, and it took us 4 years to feel like, oh, you know what, maybe someone might want to feel comfortable attaching their company name to ours. So we're very excited for the sponsors who said yes, and for our future sponsors out there,
yes.
Hit up what is it? I don't know if it's admin, I don't know, whatever yes. Sponsor. I don't know what email. Maria got a lot of emails, so whatever the email is for sponsors, hit that up if you're looking for sponsors.
Yes, I mean, hey, we're out here, we're trying. I mean, I just got a flyer not too long ago, I think it was a week or 2 ago, for Autism conference, and there was not one Black speaker on that, on their panel, on their list of speakers. And it's just baffling to me. Like, you're not attending to the needs of a specific group minority when the research and the data is showing that there is such a gap and a lag. So yeah, come to the conference. Sponsors out there, this is the train that you need to be hopping on, because we are meeting a specific need. I see we have some comments coming in from IG. Somebody said, hey guys, yes, this is very true. Do you guys do seminars online or like council groups of ways to help those that are struggling with autism or other issues, and ways to help them grow and help them? So besides our annual conference, we also do have our Autism in Black community. And there is a special offer for those who get tickets to the conference to join the community as well. But we do have a community that we meet weekly in, because that has been a response from our attendees that they want more of the safe space that our conference offers outside of just the weekend. So we have created and cultivated that into our Autism in Black community that you are able to join. But if you want that special offer, snag a ticket to the Autism in Black conference, and it gives you that special offer as well. And some other comments that we have is, you have to start somewhere. That will be you soon enough. Yes, thank you for speaking that into existence for us. We are definitely growing the Autism in Black brand. We started our nonprofit. We're about 1 year in our Autism in Black Foundation nonprofit. So we are very excited about that. Let's see, what else? We need more people like us in this area. We definitely do. And I think what I have learned is, because I know I have cultivated a space that is so Black centered, that I don't realize how small we actually are until I go to a lot of bigger organizations where they've invited me to speak. And I'm like, oh my gosh, these people are not even understanding that they are, missing a specific group of people in their marketing and in their conference topics. So for me, when I get out of my bubble that I've created and go to these other places that have invited me to speak, that's when it's like, oh my goodness, it's so much different. So yeah, we are definitely trying to continue to, shed light on our community. Let's see. Anything else for you, husband?
No. Good.
Thank you all who are first-time joiners. We see a lot of that on IG, first-time joiners here. Thank you for joining the Autism and Black, I guess, social media channels and figure out what we do. Check out our podcast. Check out our website. We have a lot of free low-cost items on there. Our conference, we have our 3 ticket tiers. We have general admission, VIP, platinum VIP. As well, we are currently in early bird phase of ticket sales, so prices will go up, I believe, April 1st, if I'm not mistaken. So, and we are giving everybody who's bought a ticket prior to the early bird rate ending will get all of the early bird gifts that we're giving to everybody. So it doesn't matter because we've had people who bought their tickets at the end of the conference last year to make sure that they're going to be in the building. Up until now, you all will get those early bird specials that we're giving. Somebody asked, where are we based? So we are based, I'm always so embarrassed to say what state we're in. But we are based in Florida. And you guys probably know all the mess that's going here in Florida. But we are based in Florida, but our services are at this point international. Last year we had our first out of USA attendees at the conference, so we're very excited about that. And I myself have spoken all across the United States and done virtual stuff in other countries as well. So we are based in Florida, but our services are everywhere, which is what we like with Autism in Black. Let's see what else. Looking for other comments here, but yes, basically what this FAQ for our Autism in Black 4th annual Autism in Black virtual conference is just to give you guys information about it being virtual, about it being April 19th through the 21st, starting April 18th if you're VIP, but April 19th through the 21st, you get all of the recordings, lifetime access. So even if you can't attend, your ticket admission gets you lifetime access to all of the conference materials and as well as the conference sessions. You do not have to be Black to come to the conference. We just want you to know that everything we say and talk about at the conference is Black centered. It is so important for us to continue to talk about intersectionality, culturally responsivity, because it makes a difference for our community. As a practitioner, as a autistic individual, and as a parent to autistic individuals, it is so important for me to continue to shed light on this. All of the audience members that I talk to, I can relate to you in each way because I am a professional. I am a autistic individual. I am a parent who is raising Black autistic children. So I understand that. And I think that is kind of what makes spearheading Autism in Black unique, for me at least. So just know that we are doing what we can to continue bridging that gap for our community. We want you to be at the conference. We have a great time every year. Everyone who's attended our conference has had amazing times. We cultivate that safe space for our attendees so that you do not have to worry during that time. It's just for you to digest information, to feel at home, to network, meet other individuals, learn information that you didn't know before. So we are very excited about that. Janice, you can email me at info@autisminblack.org. info@autisminblack.org. What else? Is that it for today?
I think that's it for the week. Again, we'll be here next week. We'll be here every other week, and as we get closer to the conference, we may pop up twice a week. We're hoping to have guest speakers here on the lives as well too. Especially once we have the agenda out, have some speakers out. Pay attention for the podcast episodes that will be out as well too. I always appreciate that our speakers not only take the time to speak at the conference, but they also do a podcast episode for you guys who may not attend the conference, but you want to hear from this in particular speaker, which I 100% encourage.
Yes.
Maria knows one of my favorite episodes she did. I forget her name. But I think it was like on emotional intelligence or something like that. One of my favorite episodes. So shout out to whoever her name is, but shout out to her.
And it escapes me right now because ADHD, but yes, that was an amazing episode. We are always so very thankful for our speakers. Year one, we weren't even able to pay any of our speakers, and they graced, the stage of Autism in Black and was speaking for us. And now we do offer honorariums to our speakers, so we're blessed to be able to do that, but also that they are able to come and speak on the podcast and show up for you guys in pre-recording or live for the conference. So we are always thankful for our Autism in Black conference speakers because they shed a lot of light on what's going on. I'm one person, but having, 20 speakers who are talking about the vast information that's going on in our community is so great. So you guys are getting 3 days worth of content from over 20 speakers who's going to be talking about different aspects of
and I think that's what we can definitely talk about next week. Like next week, because the agenda will be out. So next week we can kind of go through the flow of the agenda.
Exactly. And we might have some giveaways in our coming live. So thank you guys for tuning in. You'll catch us sometime next week, coming back and answering more questions about the conference. Until then, snag your tickets and be on the lookout for our next live. And thank you for listening.